The least intuitive and most important thing about learning to work with Microsoft Office drawings is how to select shapes. So pay attention. Now, the 1-minute learning curve that you need to learn in order to appreciate Excel as a drawing tool is that when you hover your mouse over the middle of many objects, the cursor is a text I-bar. And that's because when you click in the middle of that object, that's exactly what you're doing, typing. But if you want to select the object in order to move it or resize it or copy it, then you hover your mouse over the edge of the object until your cursor turns into a 4-sided cross arrows like this. And that selects the object, which you might then maybe move it, or more commonly, you might use Control-C to copy it, and then select the cell where you want to paste it, and Control-V to paste, or right-click it in order to use any of those menu options. The point is that once you've selected the object, there's all kinds of things that you can do with it, things that you will learn in the next training video. And then let's point out that if you hold down your Control key, you can select multiple objects, just like any other Windows program. And then you can move or copy or delete multiple shapes at once. So here's a really important tip for making Excel drawings easier to use. If you go to this Home tab, in this Find and Select section, you will find this Select Objects arrow. And when the Select Objects arrow is toggled on, your mouse works differently. Not only do you not have to be quite so precise about hovering your mouse over the edge of a shape, but also you can drag a box around an entire group of shapes, and it selects everything within that box. And then you can select the Drawing Tools tab that always appears whenever you've got any object selected to do things like align your shapes or distribute them evenly or snap them to the grid or whatever you want to do with them. So that's a pretty cool feature, right? The more you use Excel as a drawing tool, the more you're going to want that Select Objects arrow handy. So why not right-click it and add it to your Quick Access toolbar so that it's always right there whenever you need it. In fact, you will use this so much that if there's only one thing that you put in your Quick Access toolbar, it should be this Select Objects arrow. You might want to pause the video right now and do it on your own computer. Add that Select Objects arrow to your Quick Access toolbar. When you've finished using the Select Objects arrow, it's important to remember that it is a toggle, so you have to toggle it back off in order for your mouse to work normally again. You can toggle it off by either clicking it again in the toolbar or by double-clicking any open cell. You learned how to group shapes in the previous video on types of shapes. One common example of a grouped shape is the truck in a value stream map. When we select the outer edge of the grouped shape, then we can move the entire grouped shape together as one object. But if we accidentally select a shape within the group of shapes, then it allows you to accidentally move a part of the grouped shape. If we select the outer edge of that still grouped shape, we see that those shapes are still grouped, but their relationships have been accidentally changed. I would not have designed it that way if I were Microsoft, but as long as you're aware of it, you can press the Control-Z key a couple of times and put your truck back together again.